Hello, everyone. I am Chuang. Today, let's draw the skull of Torvosaurus. Skull fossils of the Torvosaurus are incomplete, only the tip of the snout, the area above the eyes and the front part of the lower jaw have been found. What we need to do is putting these parts together, and adding the missing parts based on current paleontological knowledge, to reconstruct a complete skull. When drawing, we should pay attention to the position and size of these bones on the paper. For example, its maxilla shouldn't be bigger than its mandible. Note the size of the tip of its snout and the back of its head, and try to draw them in equal proportions on the paper. Now let's draw the skull of the Torvosaurus. First, draw the parts that have been found in fossils, such as the tip of the nose. Its premaxilla looked like this. It would look like this on the fossil, with this depression forming the front half of the nose, and there would be a large depression here. When the Torvosaurus was alive, the nostrils would be located here. At the back of the premaxilla was the maxilla, and a fragment of a fossilized maxilla have been found. Here is the antipodal fenestra, where there would be many feeding foramens that supply blood to the skin around the snout. Such structures also existed around the premaxilla. Moving toward the back was the lacrimal bone, which had a small upward bulge with a fossa in the middle. The lower part of the lacrimal bone formed the front half of its eye. Next, move on to its cheekbones. A fragment of the cheekbone was once found, which roughly looked like this. Then move on to the postorbital bone behind the eye. A fragment of this has also been found. Then move on to the back of the skull. These bones have also been found. Now let's move on to the mandible. There are fewer fossils of the mandible. An incomplete mandible was once found, which only had the front part. Fortunately, there was a large tooth on the mandible, and we got to know that the Torvosaurus had big teeth. Although information was sketchy, we can still guess the shape of the Torvosaurus skull. First, let's reconstruct the top of its head. You will find that it had very large nostrils, indicating that it had excellent breathing ability. Its nose could bring sufficient oxygen to the body, and it might also have a sensitive sense of smell. Next, let's connect the lacrimal bones at the top of the head with the maxilla to form the complete upper jaw. Its upper jaw were rather square and long. Above the eyes, we can connect the top of the head. Then connect the occipital bone with the skull. Although no lower jaw fossils have been found, through the reconstruction of common carnivorous dinosaurs, we know that the Torvosaurus' lower jaw was probably slender at the tip and wider at the base. The three bones would normally fuse here. Now, Let's draw its teeth. The front teeth were smaller. The teeth on the sides were longer and would gradually shorten until disappearing here. The same goes for the teeth on the lower jaw. Which would end here. Now, we've drawn the entire skull of the Torvosaurus. We can outline the skin accordingly. For example, its lower jaw would probably be here, and its throat here. The Torvosaurus' head was covered with relatively thin skin, and the tip of the snout basically consisted of bones, covered in just a layer of skin. Although the lacrimal bone only had a small bulge, it might have a large cuticle around here when it was alive. The muscles at the top of the head joined the neck above the parietal bone. Its dentary was here, and the muscles were located in this part of the mouth. We can simply fill these hollow areas with black. When the Torvosaurus was alive, it would have had a sclerotic ring around each eye, and we can reconstruct it here. Fill in the temporal fenestra. Draw some flesh on the upper and lower jaws. Finally, shade the back of the head. Good, like this, we've finished drawing the skull of Torvosaurus.